Good morning. Good morning. Let me tell you about this week. I hope your week started off well. Mine started off great. Even if it didn't, I'm going to say it's great. I'm going to make it great. But last week I had some troubles. However, I turned those troubles into good times. But I wanted to just make this video because I wanted to let you all know something. Last week I felt that I was under severe attack from the enemy. And when I say this, I was feeling like I was taking offense to everything. And some of the reasons why I was offended, yes, they were very valid. They were extremely valid. However, the way I reacted was not Christ-like at all. And so I did do a lot of repenting and a lot of apologizing last week. But let me tell you how the enemy works. Even when he sees that you're not giving up on God or giving up on yourself, let me tell you how the enemy works. So this weekend, I had to go back home to my son's gender reveal. Yay, I'm having a grandson. And when I went back home to my son's gender reveal, I still own a home in my hometown, but I had some items left there. So my son is moving out and my sister is moving in. And so she bagged up all the items that were in my home. And I said, before I take them back to my new home, I'm going to go through what I don't want and get rid of it. I'm not going to take back any trash. So as I'm going through everything, if you all remember the first video about how, or the second video, how my ex-husband had a woman, he ended up having a child, and I ended up taking care of the child because the mother passed on, so forth and so on. So as I'm going through these items, I pull out what was an obituary of this young lady. And I'm going to tell you all how I got this obituary and how I got the death certificate and how I got photos of everything, even of, her and my ex-husband. And at that very moment, I felt like I was being tested. So I'm going to tell you. So I'm going through the bag, and when I open it up, her obituary files out. And not only does her obituary files out, first her death certificate file out, and then her obituary, and then photos of her. It was photos in there of her, with my ex-husband on video, on a video or whatever. And I used to get upset when I seen those things, but now I feel compelled to pray and thank God that he brought me through that storm. And I know most people are trying to figure out how I got some of her items. Well, when my ex-husband moved back to his home country, he had family. He still has family here in the States. And I guess he had left some of the items there. And so they said to me, well, I have some of your ex-husband's items. And I was like, I really don't want them. But he felt the need for me to take them. So I was like, okay, I'll take them. It can't be, what harm can it do? It's just some photos, this, that, and the third. So as I started going through the box, it was all of these pictures, the obituary, the death certificate. It was everything. And so my heart wouldn't let me get rid of it at that moment. And I felt guilty for getting rid of it, even though I had so much anger about the situation. Even after looking through the items, even after the situation was over, I still had a lot of anger towards the whole situation. But let me tell you how God works. So Sunday, I'm going through these items and it goes on. I had never read the obituary. So as I'm reading the obituary Sunday, it has my ex-husband, who I was married to at the time of this young lady's passing. It has my ex-husband as her fiance in this obituary. And before, I'm pretty sure I would have been extremely angry, but my sister was like, get rid of all that stuff. That's bad energy. You're in a great place. This, that, and the third. She was like, get rid of it. You don't need that kind of energy on you, around you. You're doing great. And I told her, I said, no, I am going to keep this. And why I'm going to keep it is because it's a reminder of what God brought me out of. It is a reminder that no matter what you are going through, no matter what you have been through, that God has your back. At that very moment, I knew and I realized that God is real, because looking back at the things that I have encountered in my life, I should have been gone mentally. Most people wouldn't have never been able to go through the fire or the storms that I have been through and still have their mind, still have a heart of compassion, still have a heart to love others, still have a heart of empathy, be able to have empathy and sympathy for others. Most people would not be able to do the things that I do after all the things that I've encountered in my life at such a young age. So at that moment, it was a reminder to me that God is real and he works miracles, and he's working in my life each and every day. And at that moment, I said, I thank you, Lord, for the storms that I've been through, the storms that I have weathered, and thank you for taking me from A to B, and you continuing me to helping me to continue to walk down a path of righteousness, a path of joy, a path of understanding. And I knew at that moment, again, like I said, that God is with me and he is real. So just remember, when you are reminded, the enemy tries to remind you, maybe it's the enemy and maybe it's God trying to show you that I'm here. I've been here since this point to this point, and I'm never going to leave you. Or maybe it is the enemy trying to remind you of what you had to go through. But whatever it may be, just remember to be grateful. Just remember to have a heart of gratefulness no matter what you've been through in your life, because God will give you a peace that surpasses all understanding. And I am a living testimony to that. I am a true living testimony that God is forever faithful. No matter what you go through, no matter what valley you feel like you're stuck in, no matter what storm you feel like you're standing in the midst of, God is always with you and will never leave nor forsake you. I hope you all have a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Share this video if you like it. I just wanted to, like I said, give you a reminder that God is forever with you and he will never leave your side.